Hi guys, Yanis here from Scan Heating, and today I'm going to show you one of the most common faults we found on the boilers. And I say common because even a new boiler could be developed with this issue on the first 5-6 years on his life. And let's dive in. So in this diagram here and this schematic, I have one system boiler or regular boiler. We have the expansion vessel, we have the PRV on the system, we have the filling loop on the system, we have the pressure gates and two zones valves, one for the central heating and one from the hot water. So in very simple terms, what's the reason actually we have the expansion vessel? As we know from physics, if we have a hot two kettles with water, the same water, the size getting bigger. For example, this is on 5 degrees Celsius and this is on 60 degrees Celsius. What's happened here is the size of the water getting bigger as long as the temperature raises. On the sealed system, this pressure has to go. And that's why we fit an expansion vessel, the heating expansion vessel. If this is the position when the boiler is off and the temperature is quite low, when the boiler getting hot, the size of the water is going to raise a little bit the diaphragm and it's going to move the diaphragm slightly up here. This is, for example, when we are on 70 degrees Celsius. And when the water getting cold, it's going to be back to position as it is, roughly about on this area, which is roughly about 5 degrees or 10 degrees Celsius. So we have this movement inside and this one keeps the balance. After years and years and years, to minimum 5 years, unless there is a problem, very rare but things happen, this expansion vessel unfortunately loses his pressure. And then we don't have actually any diaphragm, any movements. This one is filled up with the water straight away. And we don't have somewhere to take the excess of the water and bring the balance on the system. As a result, we have a PRV here, which is rated on 3 bar. When the temperature getting higher and the size of water getting bigger, after 3 bar, 3.5 bar approximately, the PRV open and start to dripping on the tandies or the external pipe. If you ever see, this is the brick wall on the houses, and there is a copper pipe which is actually like this, like a little hook, shoot on the wall, start to dripping. Yes, how to fix that the problem then? And yes, when we're monitoring how to fix this problem is quite easy fixable. We have to replace the expansion vessel and the PRV. I'm gonna make a little cycle with a black pen. It will be the expansion vessel and the PRV. If we replace those two, it will be fine. Sometimes, very rare, even if we charge only the expansion vessel, depends the quality of the expansion vessel, depends the make of the boiler. In generally speaking, please, if you can replace, please replace the expansion vessel and the PRV. Then should be absolutely fine. If you want to discharge, bear in mind you have to follow the manufacturer's instructions, which is between 0.75 bar plus minus 2 or 0.2 bar. Also, you have to bear in mind, you have to replace the PRV. If you don't replace the PRV, unfortunately, the chances to fix it is very rare, because what's happened, the PRV, because of the condition of the water inside the system is very dirty, there are derbies inside, there are things, there are sludge, unfortunately it does not seal properly, and in this case, stay constantly open. That's why we have to replace the PRV for sure. In case if we don't really know if we're losing pressure in somehow, somewhere on the system, if there is any water leakage, or is there any problem with the boiler, normally we use two ways. If you are not sure, for a lot of the leaking, sometimes we fit a bag, a foot bag around of this pipe, seal it properly with the cable ties, and monitoring. The other way is just monitoring the tandish, and in case if you are not 100% sure, on the modern boilers, the expansion vessel normally is internally in the PRV. We close flow in the return and leave it for 1 day. If we don't have any changes on the pressure, normally the water leaking is somewhere else. If we have water pressure changes, then the leaking is somehow inside the boiler. Let's summarize one more time. Sometimes we experience that we top up the pressure and the pressure go instantly up to 4 on the red size and then down to 0. That's happened because the expansion vessel unfortunately cannot keep the balance, open the PRV, lose the pressure, and the boiler go to 0. Then even if we top out with a filling loop as many times as we do, we have the same results. In order to treat the circuit, we have to replace the expansion vessel, we have to replace the PRV, and we will back to normal. A little bit tip point. Before we do any of these actions, we have to make sure we have the necessary level of inhibitor. Please, before you leave the property, make a little test to check the inhibitor. And if you are happy with the inhibitor and it is optimum level, then you are ready to leave the property. If not, please add inhibitor to the system. I hope you like it. Please, I will appreciate your comments. Like if you like the video, subscribe to help this channel to expand. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day. Thank you.